I played Another Crab's Treasure for 10 hours, and here's some funny stuff I found. A bunch of references to other media, and not just the Souls games that it takes inspiration from. We have the dune-like sandworms that'll randomly burst out of the ground and grab krill. I know these are actually bobbit worms, and they do exist in real life. Still doesn't make this any less terrifying. A very suspicious description for a rusty nail. This is obviously a nod to the knight's weapon in Hollow Knight, and it's gotten all rusty since it's under the ocean. A fishnet-clad leg, which is a reference to the leg lamp in A Christmas Story, which is definitely not a reference I was expecting to see here. Totally random, but hey, it is a useful way to climb up to the top layer of the city. And then we have SpongeBob. Makes sense since the whole game is ocean themed. These hooks hanging down from the sky, or the surface of the water, are definitely a nod to SpongeBob's Hooky episode, where SpongeBob and Patrick hang on to similar fishing hooks for a good old time. In the game's release trailer, we also have this suspiciously detailed face when Krill gets pinched, closely resembling SpongeBob's super gross close-ups. I always hated these as a kid because they freaked me out. What else? There's Bablo the Speedy Snail, which seems to be referencing Turbo the Snail. Genius idea for a movie, by the way. One movie I haven't seen referenced yet is Finding Nemo, but I'm positive they slipped something in here related to it because it's just a classic. There are also tons of references to Aggro Crab's first game, Going Under, which confirms that both their games do in fact take place in the same universe. Going Under is a dungeon crawler about surviving a terrible corporate internship where they make you fight monsters and fetch coffee, and it's pretty fun. We have the Fizzle soda brand. You can use a can as your shell, and these bottle caps also has their branding on them with the little X's and O's. Then there's the Joblin mug, another brand that shows up in the game, and tape from the cubicle boxes that get delivered to you. It's interesting, the whole story here is centered around trash and pollution in the ocean, how these creatures have come to rely on it, even treasure it, yet they can't escape the sickness that it causes. So the fact that we're even seeing trash from this very same office building floating around goes to show how widespread the issue is and that no one can escape it. Ready for some pun? Right from the very first scene in the game, we are presented with an abundance of puns. From the infamous loan shark who repossesses our shell, just about every other line of dialogue, and even random stuff you'll find out in the world, they're all filled with jokes, puns, and crabby shenanigans. Similarly, the ocean is rife with trash that consists of knockoff brands. One of my favorites is the extremely long CND pharmacy receipt. Man, those things just keep on printing forever. Although going to CVS in the past few years, I have noticed that their receipts are a bit shorter. Mario cigarettes, Elden Bay seasoning, Shucker's Uncrustworthies, these are the grape jelly and mozzarella version, and I guess in this universe they don't eat goldfish, they eat cheesy guns. If you didn't know, you have the option to give Krill a gun to one-shot every enemy and boss in the game. Genius from both a marketing perspective and an accessibility one, because I definitely would have given up already if I didn't have this firepower as a backup. One thing I didn't know going into Another Crab's Treasure is that it would have costumes. The first one I found was a little cowboy hat to spruce things up for Krill. We also have the visibility vest, and I've seen one of Mr. Krabs. And if you'd like to sit back, take in the view, and admire Krill's new look all at once, there are a bunch of quirks scattered around the map that let you do just that. Look at him kick those little legs. He does look a bit lonely though, doesn't he? How about we get him a friend? This chum stowaway acts as Krill's little buddy, and you can even give him a pet to show your affection. Another little friend you can equip is Another Crab. Adorable. And in the game you go on a treasure hunt. Guess that explains the title. If you were curious, all the pets that helped make this game possible are listed in the credits, which is a very nice touch. I would love to meet Stanley and Sesame Bagel specifically, and some other random stuff. This dude's driving around in basically the Toy Story RC car with a license plate that reads Filth Chaser. What a legend. I noticed a bunch of these purple Rubik's Cubes with Fibonacci spirals on them as I was out and about. I'm assuming I need to learn a new technique in order to break them because they are blocking some secret paths. And one secret umami technique, as they're called, that you can acquire comes from Eric, who just wants a hug but seems to always be hurting those around him. So put an F down in the comments for such a great guy. And I didn't know where to put this one or what to say about it, so here you go.